everybody, if you're wondering why this video looks a little different compared to my past My Little Pony tier list videos, that's because it is. My screen recorder on my laptop wanted to be a little bitch today. I worked on it for around an hour and it still refused to work and be a little bitch. So instead of my typical fun, outdoor My Little Pony tier ranking videos where I am on my laptop and outside and it's more fun for me that way, instead I have to be in this dark computer room making this bitch ass video instead. I worked on it for an hour. Screencast wanted to be a bitch. I worked on it for an hour, like I said, and it refused to work, so we're going to have to do it like this instead. If you feel a fan, I mean, not feel, but if you hear it, I can't do nothing about that. I heat up easily. I'm sorry if it's annoying. I'm going to try and keep it distanced as much as possible so you guys aren't hearing an annoying fan. But if you guys hear it again, just know that I need it because I easily get hot whenever I am indoors. Now, I can handle outdoor heat. I don't need if it's like 100 degrees outside, I can handle it. But indoor heat is different to me. It's harder for me to handle. That's why I really enjoy making these videos outside, because I am more energized. But this time, if I don't sound as enthusiastic, just know I'm not really in the best mood right now. I can't make this video either for personal reasons. Later on in the day, I have to make it like right now, or else I'm not going to be able to make it until like another week. So we have to go ahead and get this done, is basically what I'm saying. But yeah, besides that, welcome back, once again. Like I said, and what I was also going to say is I also like making these videos outside is because I'm more energized when I'm outside. So yeah, I think I already said this, but if I sound sleepy or uninterested, just know I'm not. I just get a little bit more sleepy when I'm inside. I get a little bit more energetic when I'm outside. Just like with anybody else, in the world. And I just woke up a few hours ago, so if I sound tired or uninterested, just know I'm not. This is okay. These are the document videos leading up to my main video. So, yeah, with all of that annoying shit out the way and all that depressing shit, let's get on to the fun shit, talking about My Little Pony, which always makes me feel better, especially my favorite season within the entire series of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and that would be Season 2. Season 2 is just hand down my favorite My Little Pony season, and, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. With season 2, it's probably gonna be the longest one in my document series. So, I had 3 videos for season 1 plus the roundup recap. It's gonna be the same for season 2, and it's gonna be the same for season 3. Just a little recap for you guys in case you, skipped season 1, and you're just now watching the season 2 one. So, yeah, this is how it works. You can skip a little head of this video, if you already know the rules. But the rules are every single season, seasons 1 through 3, I make 3 document videos, and I usually do 8 to 9 videos per part. So this is part 1, and as you can see, these episodes are already in rows. We have these, and these. So I'm probably just going to do this whole first row, the second one, and the third one. Now, with season 2 being my favorite season within the whole series, like I stated, these videos for season 2 are probably going to be the longest. On top of that, season 2, in my opinion, is where it gets the nitty-gritty of of the series. This is season 2, in my opinion, is like the chunk when it comes to seasons 1 through 3. It has some of the best episodes within the whole series. I was looking at these episodes for like an hour before I started recording, mostly just because I was having technical difficulties. But on top of that, these episodes, they really just soak into my brain where I can process them and try and talk about them in which you guys understand. Now, one of my flaws and something I struggle with is trying to comment on something accurately while I am talking. I am more of an introvert. I process things through being quiet, basically. So if somebody's talking to me or I'm talking or I'm trying to explain to somebody something, I might get a little irritated later because some of my words come out in a way I didn't exactly intend them to be. Now, with these episodes, I've known the series for so long. I've known the series for 12 years. I can look at these episodes in many different ways. I leave this in the description of each of my videos, but I will make it clear to you guys once again that these episodes, let's say if one of these episodes were F tier, it's not F tier in a way that an episode from season 6 would be F tier. Seasons 4 through 9 are very different from seasons 1 through 3. You can even argue that the first 3 seasons are different from each other. And that is true, and that's actually really true for most series because the series is developing. Now, if you had an episode here that went in S tier, compared to a Season 1 S tier episode, Season 2 S tier episode is probably going to be better than a Season 1 S tier episode just because it's Season 2 and it's such a development from Season 1. Season 1 is great, but Season 2, it's most series really, like the first season of any series really is just the building blocks, but you get the seasons after that start to get into the nitty gritty of things. So, yes, I am recording on OBS, so that's why this whole setup looks different. I am not on my laptop making this, I am on my desktop computer. So that's why my setup here looks a little different, but maybe it won't be too distracting for you guys. I might have to get up and get if my hot flashes get the best of me, I might have to get up and get a rag. So if you hear me, I'll still be talking, but if you hear like footsteps or noises, just know that's probably what it is. Also have a cat here. She likes cuddling me, so I know you guys probably won't mind the cat, but like a lot of times she might need my attention. And the OBS, it's a streaming platform. It's not screen recorder like say screencast is, so I can't edit this stuff out like I could with screencastify. I could technically edit it out, but it might take a long time, so if there's like any sort of interruption, just don't take it too seriously. Just try to ignore it the best you can. But this is my favorite season, so these videos are probably going to be the longest. I did change some of these right here, and originally when I was making this, I wouldn't think there would be any F tier videos, F tier episodes. But now that I'm actually looking at it, season 2 is kind of like season 1. Like season 1, you either got a really good or a really bad episode. It feels like a continuation of that. A lot of these episodes in season 2 are either fucking amazing or just irritating, but it's still my favorite season just because those good episodes are extremely good. Now, one thing I did want to mention, a mistake I made in season 1, which, you guys, when I make the big, video, tier, list ranking video, a lot of these are going to change, and they're not going to stay in the same position. So, please try not to take this too seriously. Things are going to change. These are not my permanent thing. Even my roundup recap I made for season 1, I did go back and look at it, and I really did disagree. Like, for example, right after I made that tier list video, I watched the episode Over a Barrel, and I actually thought Over a Barrel was like A tier. Like, I loved that episode. Sure, some might say it is boring. I think what happened is that I was remembering how I thought of it when I was younger. I remember being younger and really thinking that episode was like extremely boring, but now that I look back on it, that's like, oh, that's probably one of my favorite season 1 episodes. So, and I just had to watch it again, and I just needed a refresher. So, this is simply just my organization things of the episodes at the moment. So, I explained it before, but I had to explain it again. In some episodes I just completely forget about. Like, they completely slip my memory. Usually those episodes are lower on the tier list, cause if they're forgettable, I mean, I've known My Little Pony forever. They're probably not that good. So, that was a long intro. I'm aware of that. I just really wanted to explain myself and get that out the way before I continue. There will be chapters in these videos, so, if you guys don't like the long intro, you guys can just skip it. Sorry if you heard that. That was my Windows 7 next to me. It's having a fit today for some reason. It keeps making like that intro sound, even when it's off. It does that sometimes. I think it does that like once a week. I think I have like an automatic setup. But I swear it does that on Sundays, and it's a little bit creepy because like it's completely dark in this room, and nobody else is here besides my cat, and you have this computer next to me, and it's just suddenly like, it's okay, Windows 7, I know you're alive, you don't have to remind me. I will do, this is off topic, but I will do a video. I'll do some videos on my Windows 7, in the future, but let's hurry this up a little bit so I don't have to go to the bathroom in the middle of it and you guys don't have to just randomly hear 30 seconds of silence throughout this video. Let's get into it. Alright, this, and like I said, you guys, the premieres and the finales will be paired together, cause it's really hard to per se, if something is like part 1 of it, it's just weird to rate them separately. So all the seasons finales and the premieres will be ranked together. Alright, so this premiere is great. I don't think nobody has to even explain how great this episode is. I think even Lauren Faust was really excited to make it. She was really excited to have John Delancey on there. And Discord is a really important character when it comes to the series. He has been here for a very long time. And if anything, I think Discord is a fan favorite. Kind of like Derpy. Not as much as Derpy, but really, when it comes to the male characters, I think Discord would probably most likely be the fan favorite. He's a very important character, like I said, and he's a very hyped up character. People like Discord so much, even in the newer seasons. They basically reformed him and kind of put him in with the main cast. He's not a main cast, but he's like main supporting cast, kind of like Trixie is in the seasons 8 through 9. Whatever. That's a different topic. You can feel on that how you can feel, but we're just focusing on this episode. The good episodes are funny because, I don't have much to say about them because they're great. It's the introduction of Discord, and I love how they played it up. I love how it was just like the CMC looking at these statues, and then the CMC were basically like, what the fuck is this? And then Discord came, and Celestia was showing the ponies the dangers of Discord, and he came and he caused Discord, and I love the Discorded ponies. I love how he also got rid of Rainbow Dash's wings and Twilight's horn, and they were all our ponies. I fucking love how Rarity fell in love with a boulder. Is it his name Tom or something? I fucking love it. I love it. It's brilliant. It's funny. And this is really like a changing point in the series. The season 1 finale was just the girls going to the Grand Galloping Gala, but this was really a moving point in the series. This was really the first time ever in the series you see this big lore, I guess, and this moving point. This is really the episode that transitions a really down to earth show into a more, okay, we have something bigger going on in Equestria here that we need to handle. Sure, there was Nightmare Moon, but that was the very first episode, so I wouldn't even really count that. I guess so. Like, yeah, of course it's lore. Nightmare Moon becoming Luna is one of the most important things in the entire series. But after that, it got kind of laid back. They didn't focus on that. You know, they mostly focused on trying to develop their characters and set a ground base for the show. But this is one of the first episodes, that really delved into building on top, building something. Discord is an amazing character as well. I don't really have a strong opinion on him. I don't hate him, but he's not one of my favorites either. He's just okay to me. Like, he's a great character, but for me personally, he's not one of my favorites. He's okay. It's just according to what mood I'm in. I don't have a strong opinion over him, but for this episode wise, he is amazing. They introduced him well. I love the message of the episode, how they animated things. Just episode is just really solid. And since I'm praising it so much, you might be wondering why it's not S and it's A. It's really close to an S, but looking at these other episodes on the list, it just does not match up to be in an S tier, because some of these episodes are just amazing. Now, the thing is, with the premiere, like, if this premiere was in season 1 somewhere, this would automatically be an S tier. It'd probably be up S tier, if not the best. But we're judging this based off of these other episodes right here, so we have to play fair. But you guys, when I make the main project, this could move up a lot. We don't know yet. We haven't gotten there yet. But okay, I think my Windows 7 has shut up now. Okay, good. Don't do that. Was that you talking, Windows 7, or was that the cat? I think that was the cat. Now you're playing mind games on me, dummy. Anyways. But, yeah, I was gonna say something else and I fucking forgot, because I'm thinking so quick right now, because I do this whenever I think about, or talk about My Little Pony. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say with the premieres and the finales, I think it's kind of unfair to rate them, like, on S tier, or top tier, because, like, or rate them, like, really up, because premieres and finales automatically have, like, a advantage over the episodes, because they're kind of written to be more important, and they're premieres and finales, so they're written to be more important. Usually the finales are like the build up of the season. At the end of the season you're going to get a gift or a reward or something really good. I think this was especially apparent in older shows like My Little Pony. I don't know if cartoons really do that anymore, where they have like a build up. I feel I know a lot of them do, but some don't. Some of them, they'll have their build up just whenever they feel like it. That's kind of what I would do if I had a series. Just because it's the end or the start of a series, you could have like this build up. Like, you can have the build up whenever you want. If anything, that's probably better, because, like, think about it. People are just gonna want to see the finale and the premiere. They're not even gonna pay attention to the show. But that's not really true, My Little Pony wise. Like, but we could do our own tier ranking on the premieres and the finales just in general. Usually the finales are more important than the premieres. Not more important, but, like, better. But yeah. Lesson 0, I don't think this should even be a surprise to fucking anybody. This is one of my favorite episodes within the entire series. You'll hear me saying that a lot, ranking these old, season 1 through season 3 episodes, but this is really true. Lesson 0 is just so great. I might get up and start walking around and talking because I'm getting fidgety. But, Lesson 0, first of all, there was so much fan content that came out of this episode. AMV's animations, just everything like that, just a lot of jokes, and it's the introduction of what's the fucking name of the place. Smarty Pants. Sorry, my headphones it does that whenever I'm not listening to something, it'll do it again. So, it's the introduction of Smarty Pants. I think that's the plushie's name, so, that toy was in the lot of the fandom, during the older days of the fandom. Uh, I love the episode. It's such a good concept as well. It's just an overall solid episode. I love the idea of Twilight just losing her shit. This is basically the biggest I'm gay for Celestia Twilight episode. And not only that, it's just, it's kind of like Party of Life. Isn't that the name of the Pink Amina episode? It's kind of like that, where it has this build up and Twilight finally snaps at the end, kind of like how Pinkie Pie does. And I think this is also a very important episode as well, is that we don't need a friendship lesson every single episode. I think Lauren Faust had no idea her cartoon was going to have as many episodes, so she was probably, I don't know, I'm just assuming, but I am expecting she probably just was like, oh, we can do a friendship lesson each episode and that'll be the end of the series. She probably didn't know. And I can imagine this episode was probably made by the writers who were probably like, oh, fuck, we don't know what to do for a friendship lesson. And somebody was like, oh, we can make that the theme of the episode, the fact that Twilight doesn't have a friendship lesson. So we can base it off that. And that is a pretty genius idea. That is what you call thinking outside of the box. That is a very classic example of that. So I think that is brilliant. I love stuff like that. And yeah, I just love this entire episode. I love how Twilight just slowly loses her shit. It's probably one of my favorite Twilight episodes. You know, Twilight, she isn't one of my main favorites when it comes to the main six. Like, I love her. I love all the main six. But she's definitely not like an Applejack or a Rarity or some of the other girls. So, yeah, but also it's really according to the episode. This is one of the best Twilight episodes. I think Twilight is really written well here. I miss Unicorn Twilight. Somebody fucking kill me. I miss when she used to be written like this. But, yeah, I just love it. Like, it's such a good fucking episode. I love how everybody is slowly going insane over a plushie. I love there's not a friendship problem, so I'll make a friendship problem. Twilight is fucking insane, and I love it. We need more. I love it. I just love this episode. Everybody is a cult classic episode. I don't know anybody that hates this episode. I love this episode. It's great, and I love how Celestia just doesn't give a shit either. She's like, you know, you don't have the right to me every day. You know that, right? So it's just an amazing episode. So, if I didn't waste my breath enough on something that is amazing, let's go to Lunar Eclipse, which is even better than Lesson 0, in my opinion. Alright? So, this is the Luna episode, okay, of the series. This is the Luna episode, at least, classic-wise. This is when Luna had her rebirthing. This was when she went from her old season 1 design to this design. This episode is a fucking good episode, and I'm about to explain why, alright? This episode pays attention to small detail. This episode, they thought through this episode, and not only that, it's a Halloween themed episode, so that is great. So this episode pays attention because it's like, hey, we have Luna who just came from the fucking moon from 1,000 years, and, you know, Celestia has every pony thinking Luna's still evil. That's not confirmed, it's just a headcanon, but it's heavily implied in the fandom that Celestia turned on Luna and made every pony hate her, like, hey, this pony is fucking crazy, don't like her, she tried to ring Eternal Night, and this is also headcanon from the fact that Celestia is a troll, so this is why a lot of people think it's Celestia's fault, which is implied it might be Celestia's fault. So, well, Celestia's fault that she, like, did all this and sent her to the moon, basically. So everybody's terrified of Luna. They're scared she's going to turn into Nightmare Moon. She's been on the moon for so long. But, you know, nighttime, it's canon in the show that nighttime is when Luna and her royal guards are awake. Luna also goes into people's dreams. It's not seen right here. I don't think they knew what to do with the character that far yet, but later in the seasons, that's what she does. She's the princess of the night. I mean, like, she's in charge of all the nighttime. So, of course, she's out here at night, and I think this is why, you know, a lot of older bronies in the old fandom would complain, like, where's Luna, where's Luna, where's Luna? Maybe they were, like, implying the fact that she's just not up when it's daytime. That's when Luna is asleep. Which then you could also argue, like, well, she's in Pony Sleep at Night, but it's like she's also like the animation Children of the Night, which was so like you know, Luna really likes children, not in the weird way. Don't attack me, YouTube, but like she's gets really along well with children. This is heavily implied in the fandom with Button Mash. People think she's close to Button Mash and like to play video games with him. This is also implied in the show with Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak was the only one that kind of, you know, warmed up to her and wasn't afraid of her. And this might be implied as well why Luna is so good with children. Children tend not to judge as much as adults and tend to be more naive. So, you know, children could see Luna and be like, hey, she's not so bad after all. She's actually pretty nice. So, you know, that I just love Luna's lore in general. She's such a well-written character. Same with Celestia, really. Cadence, she's well written too. It's just the show sadly doesn't take full advantage of that. But we'll get into that more later on. Especially season 3. But now we're talking about Luna. So Luna, I just love all the lore and small attentions to details they're paying to her. Like I said again, the thing with Pipsqueak and just the thing with everybody being scared of her. I feel like if you put like I do feel like if they were putting the writers of like if this episode was put in the hands of the wrong writers, I feel like they would just completely throw that stuff out the window, and they would. So it's really great that these writers paid attention to the small details, which that might not seem small, like, oh, Luna coming from the moon, well, yeah, that's obvious. I just love it when shows just, like, pay attention to, like, what's going on in the show and remember, like, yeah, everybody's scared of Luna, she's been on the moon, they're scared she's going to turn into the Nightmare Moon, I love that. And also, on top of that, it's also more excusable because it's Halloween. So, you know, some ponies might not actually be scared of her. They might just be intimidated of her because it's Halloween and what they call it. What the fuck do they call it? My mind's blank. I know Hearts and Hooves Day is Valentine's. Nightmare Night. Yeah, I had to remember the fucking Brony song, like with Brony Dance Party, I think. Yeah, and Live in Tombstone. Didn't he? I think he had an involvement with that. I can't remember. I just know Brony Dance Party worked on that song. That's all I know. But Nightmare Night, yeah, get it? Nightmare Night. Nightmare. Luna is a nightmare. Get it? Not nightmare as in boo, but nightmare. Get it? She's a mare. Woman and night, yeah, nightmare. You fucking get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I thought that I love the puns in the show. It's clever. But yeah, I love that. I swear to God, Luna and Fluttershy's interaction is one of my like favorite things. I love it. There's so much memes of it too. There was so much like meme edits of Luna and Fluttershy, but I just fucking love it. And I love the Pinkie Pie being a chicken. I love their costumes, by the way. All the costumes, Halloween costumes are better than Rarity's art of the dress costumes. Basically, like what they wore at the gala, which isn't a costume; they're formal attire. But you guys get what I'm saying. I love the Halloween costumes, and I dropped something. I don't fucking care. I love the Halloween costumes in this episode, and I love Derpy's costume. It's just 2 plastic bags. It's so her. This episode is so perfect. There's nothing I hate about it. It's just a perfect episode. It's one of the best episodes in the entire series. It's fun. It's charming. It's nostalgic. It pays attention. It has lore in it. This is what you call a perfect episode of any cartoon series. I think I praised it enough. Oh, I cannot get that. I need something to hold in my hands while I talk, or I go insane. Here we go. Here's something. But yeah, I think you guys get the point. Good fucking episode. There's nothing I don't like about it. Not enough Applejack. There you go. Just complained about something. F tier. Not enough Applejack. This episode's F tier. Applejack's only in it for like 3 seconds. Okay, that's a joke. Woo! And if you didn't think it could get any better, here we go. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I first watched this episode, it was alright. Kind of irritated me. Now I think this episode, now that I'm thinking about it, it'll probably get moved down more the more I review it. Because you're like, what? This better than the Discord? But that makes no sense. I'm about to explain, and it will be changed later. I promise. Just know these will be moved around. It's a process. It's a continuous process. Just know it's just gonna stay like this right now, but it will most definitely change later. But the reason why I'm putting this in S tier right now, mostly just because the episodes are easier to talk about. But you know, this is episode wise, okay? This isn't, you know, just isn't general wise. This is just season 2 episode wise so far. That's how we're ranking this. But the reason why this is so high up is I don't know. It's just good to me. Like, a lot of people could complain about it. Like, oh, it makes no sense and it's infuriating. There's constant, like, drama and fussing throughout the episode. But it's just really fucking good, dude. I don't know what it is about it. I love the message, and I love Applejack in it. I feel like most episodes that even the episodes kind of acknowledge, like, yeah, Applejack's a little bit boring, but Applejack, like, I love Applejack in this episode. Like, I really do. Hold on 1 second. I was just making sure my microphone was still on. But yeah, I just love Applejack in this episode. I love her, okay? I love Applejack in this, sorry, I blanked out a little bit, but I love Applejack in this episode because she's really authentic, and I feel like, they show Applejack in her, strengths, like, the greatest points of her characters, like, Applejack is really kind and understanding, and open. Meanwhile, Rarity can be a little bit more uptight, and I really do love how, like, Sweetie Belle gets along with Applejack, because you'd think they wouldn't get along, but this episode writes it in a way that makes sense, and I absolutely adore that. And I love the message, and I love the Sisterhoof Social concept. I love this, like, just these sisters having to, like, do this group thing and work together. It's just a fun episode. This is not supposed to be taken that seriously. It's a really heartwarming episode, which is funny, because one of these episodes coming up is literally called Heartwarming, I think. Not but it's the winter episode. But yeah, it's just great, man. It's a classic. I love it. I love how it's animated. Same for every single fucking episode, but I love how it's animated. I love the appeal of the episode. The idea of the episode is great. It might not have a lot going on, but it doesn't have to. You can still make something simple and it be amazing, and that's just what I love about it. It's not trying too hard. It's just I love it. Also, the Living Tombstone remix he made of this was a little cheesy, but I fucking love it. Alright. Okay, now we have the Cutie episode, which, you might be surprised, because you have all of these up here, and I praise season 2 to death, but I'm gonna have to put this one at decent. Whoa, sudden change. Let me count how much I have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's stop at this Rarity episode. Okay? So, yeah, a Cutie Pox, which I could go further. This could count this as one episode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's stop at the Rarity episode. I think that'd be a good stop. Alright, so the Cutie Pox episode, I know what you're thinking. What the fuck? These others were like S's and A's, and finally we got like a C right here. What happened? This episode, it's not bad. Like, well, it's in the alright section, so it's alright. You would be exactly right. This episode is nothing more than alright. Like, and that's the thing with a lot of Cutie Mark Crusader episodes. Most of them, they're just okay. Like I stated before, I stated this multiple times, Cutie Mark Crusader episodes are either hit or misses. And, guys, I might have been wrong. This might be the shortest fucking tier list video series, because season 2 is just so amazing that I don't know what to fucking say. Like, they're all great. But here we have this alright one. So, yeah, there's not like it's a cult classic episode, sure. This episode, in my opinion, is kind of more on the forgettable side. It's not really Cutie Mark Crusader focused, it's more Apple Bloom focused. And I feel like out of the Cutie Mark Crusader episodes, you definitely get more Apple Bloom focused episodes, which she is the main character of the Cutie Mark Crusaders, but this is especially apparent in the older episodes. I feel like kind of in newer episodes, it's kind of like more CMC focused on each of the girls. Back then though, you'd get zero Scootaloo focused episodes, which then everybody started to get the headcanon to Scootaloo and Orphan because of that, which was later kind of basically confirmed to be true, kinda basically. So yeah, you have I feel like they just didn't know what to do with Scootaloo. She's just kind of there. Yeah, we don't know what to fucking do with her. They were more focused on Apple Bloom probably, which makes sense because the Earth Ponies rule, dude. Like they're the classics. You gotta focus on them. They have the most background. That's why there's so. That's why they have the most down to earth episodes. I get it. But besides Pinkie Pie, she's fucking crazy. But I mean, like Earth Ponies, like I do farming and shit like that. The thing with Apple Bloom. And this episode, yeah, it's just kind of a dare episode. It's not good or bad. These okay episodes, they're kind of hard to talk about because I don't know what to fucking say about them. I mean, it has funny moments. It's like a regular My Little Pony episode if it was alright, and this is just alright. Has its moments, it's kind of it's kind of a little on the boring side, but it's not a bad episode at all. Like if this episode came on, I would 100% watch it, which we don't know. I said that about Over a Barrel, and I went back and watched it again, and I was like, holy shit, what was I thinking? This was an amazing episode. So this might be the same thing, because I haven't watched this episode in a while, and all I can remember is that, oh, this episode was boring as shit, I forgot it existed. But now that I'm looking back on it, I might go back and rewatch it. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch all these episodes anyways to get the most accurate, tier ranking for my big project either way, so it's going to be changed, so we don't know. I might go back and watch this episode and think it's fucking great, but for right now, this episode is just alright, and we're going to leave it there, and I don't have much to say about it. It's just a decent episode. I can enjoy it. It might come on and I'm like, oh, this is boring. It might come on another time. I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah, we're going to leave it there. Alright, here we go. I don't think this is a fucking question. Actually. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I told you guys season 2 was fucking amazing, okay? So, this is, first of all, there's a ferret in this episode, so this is one of the most cult classics in the entire fandom. This is probably my favorite Rainbow Dash episode. Which is funny because this episode is like, yay, Rainbow Dash! And this next episode, the very next episode is just fuck Rainbow Dash. It's hilarious how these episodes are next to each other, but yeah. May the best pet win, that's just what I call it. The concept of this episode is great, and it's fun. We love fun stuff, especially if it's not just fun just for the sake of being fun, like Fall Weather Friends, and it actually has some sort of like story going on behind it, just like Lunar Eclipsed here. But yeah, Lunar Eclipse definitely has more going on. This is kind of just like, oh, Rainbow Dash messes with animals. I about said fucks. Like she messes with animals, like she teases them. But that would have been taken out of context, so I had to change my fuck to a mess with before I get fucking deleted off the face of the earth because somebody took me out of context, which I don't blame you. It sounds weird, but yeah, Rainbow Dash is like messing / teasing with these animals. She's like, which one of you are fast? Which one of you is messed up with me? And Fluttershy is like, hey, they're animals. You have to be calm with them. You have to learn how to like get down on their level and know how to talk and bond with them. That's true with a lot of animals. Well, they're not humans, so animals, each animal is unique and follows the same rules. That was my headphones again. Each animal follows like the same rule set. Say you have a dog. Say you have a say you have a dog and a ferret, for example, a dog, like a hyperactive dog. Okay, ferrets are also kind of hyper, but yeah. So you have a hyper dog, you constantly have to take it outside and stuff like that, but then you have a ferret, and ferrets are hyper too, but they're indoor. You have to keep them indoor because they're really tiny and you don't want your ferret to get hurt. And your ferrets also needs long periods of rest. They're different animals, so you're not going to treat every animal the same. You're going to adapt around them. It's the same thing with my goats. I don't treat my goats the same way I treat my cats. Because they're different animals, so they need different needs. Same thing with humans. All humans, you can't treat them all the same. It's like a friend group. Friend group A, you're going to treat differently from friend group B, if you know what I'm saying. Just things like that. So in Rainbow Dash, she has a hard time understanding that. She wants an animal who is like her, but she sees this tortoise before Fluttershy kills me. She sees this tortoise and she's like, "Hey, you're not on my level. You can't go as fast as me." Because Rainbow Dash really wants a companion. So, and I am starving, so we might have to hurry this up a little. So Rainbow Dash is like, I want somebody to, like, get on my level, go as fast as me, things such as that. But, like, these other animals, she's like, she's testing them out, and she's like, no, Rainbow Dash, if I was you, I would have chose the ferret, but, to each their own, I guess. But, she chooses, she's like, oh, the equal can match up with me, but then at the end of the episode, she goes through, like, this competition, and, she thinks really, she doesn't really think highly of the little turtle she has, Tank, the turtle. She doesn't think much of him. She thinks he's slow because he's a turtle, and he's slow, and because he's a turtle, and Rainbow Dash wants somebody fast. So I love the lesson because the turtle wins in the end, and Rainbow Dash ends up picking him, and she loves him, and I love Tank. I really do. I think he's great. I think he's probably one of my favorite My Little Pony pets. Leona has to be my favorite. Applejack's dog, just because she's so cute. But everybody loves Gummy. He's a fan favorite. But I do love Tank as well. I don't think nobody likes Angel. I think everybody hates Angel. Fuck Angel and Owlicious. I think Owlicious is a girl, right? I don't know. I think Owlicious is a girl. I know Leona is. And yeah, I think that's all the girls. And then and Opal Essence is also a girl, which is Rarity's pet. And I think all the boy pets would be Tank and Gummy and yeah, I don't know about Owlicious. Oh, and Angel's a boy, obviously. But yeah. So, and I find it funny how you can tell if the pet's a boy or girl, even though if they don't have, like, eyelashes or something, but you can just tell. I don't know why. Intuition, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Intuition. It's just intuition. But I think Owlicious is a girl. But, yeah, off topic a little bit, but I just love the message of the episode, and it's so fun. I love the song. Okay, when I was younger, I used to love all the My Little Pony songs, but now that I'm older, a lot of them are cheesy, especially Winter Wrap-Up. I love the Living Tombstones remix of it, but Winter Wrap-Up is a little bit too cheesy for me. But the song is pretty cute. It's tolerable. I can handle it. It's not my favorite, but it's cute. It's a cute episode. I love it. Yeah. It's great fucking It's great. I love it. It's fun, and I love seeing the different designs of the pet, which usually you see at Fluttershy's Cottage, but, they animated them more, because usually at Fluttershy's Cottage, they're, like, animated in the background, but this was the focus of the episode, so I think this was a really fun episode just for the writers and stuff to make. But sadly, not even too long after that, you get a Fuck You Rainbow Dash episode. You know how, especially with me, Rainbow Dash isn't my favorite without the main six. I think this is very obvious. She never has been really. Twilight and Rainbow Dash, I love them, but they're not my favorite without the main six. I like the other girls better, but it's also just dependent on the episode. Really, I don't give a fuck. Really, I just love My Little Pony, so I don't give a shit. But you know, if you want to get technical with it, but yeah, one of my biggest complaints within My Little Pony, especially, I don't know, I don't really pay attention to the newer seasons. I don't really give a fuck about them. I just care about these old seasons, which hold a dear place in my heart forever and forever and forever until I die, and then even still it will be in my little diseased soul that will probably be one speckle of me within the universe, but still, it's still with me somehow. Maybe if it's even like, 1/3 of an atom, it would still be with me. But basically what I'm trying to say is that my complaint with Rainbow Dash here is that, especially in these older episodes, she comes off as really naive. Now, it's not confirmed the ages of the girls, the main six girls. You know, everybody's had theories about them. I see them all as adults. They're probably young adults. They're probably like in their 20s. That's just how old I saw them. Now, they do act really immature in a lot of these episodes. And that's because they're teaching basic friendship lessons that, you know, are more targeted towards little kids. And, you know, I like to make a counter argument against that real quick. When people get older, they start to get a little meaner in life and a little bit more crudy. So these basic friendship lessons, although they're cheesy, if they're written correctly and in a fun way, like My Little Pony does, push them to death. It doesn't matter, push them, because these messages are really important, and sometimes we need this reminder. Sure, probably not in an over cheesy way, but we can in a heartwarming, simple, nostalgic way, like My Little Pony does so perfectly, and that's why it's so praised. But, yeah, one of my main complaints with Rainbow Dash is that she's really naive and, you know, immature, but, you know, like I said again, rebuttal that argument with the fact that My Little Pony is a show that teaches simple friendship lessons, although important, simple. Especially Rainbow Dash, she's the most immature one out of the main six, I would argue. She definitely needs the most growing. Even when I was younger, I always used to headcanon Rainbow Dash was probably 13, while the other girls were probably like 17 and 18. And it shows. Rainbow Dash, she acts the youngest. She has a lot of that free spirit in her. She has a young soul. Even if she might be the oldest one out of the main six, but she has the youngest soul. I think Rarity's the oldest one. She's the most mature. I think either Rarity or Fluttershy or Twilight or Applejack would probably be the oldest. I see Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash being a little bit more younger for obvious reasons. You don't have the second look at their character to guess that. But yeah, Rarity is probably the oldest and Rainbow Dash is probably the youngest. Just assuming this based off their personalities and what they know, especially Rarity being a lot of ladylike. Usually you see that in older women, younger women, if you want to talk about it stereotypically. Now, a lot of older women, they don't give a shit, and then a lot of younger women will be ladylike, but we're judging them based off of colorful talking horses, so we can then push a little bit more of a stereotype on these ponies. So, you know, Rarity would be a little older. She's just that pony that would drink wine. And Rainbow Dash would probably drink Monster. But yeah, Rainbow Dash, one of the biggest complaints is that Rainbow Dash is that, you know, she's naive, she can be annoying, she isn't aware of other ponies' feelings, and she's immature. So, you know, we have this episode. Well, how do we show Rainbow Dash a lesson? It is not like this. I am sorry. Okay, let me explain myself. I never really did like this episode. It's funny because you have one of the best written Rainbow Dash episodes right here, and literally right fucking after, you have, in my opinion, probably the worst Rainbow Dash episode. This episode, it's kind of hard because I love all these episodes, and then you have, like, you know, what the fuck was the fucking Owlicious episode? It's not a bad episode, it's just bad compared to these other episodes. So, you know, these episodes, they can be really funny, but, like, if I look out, the first thing I think of when I think of this episode is, like, God, this episode is fucking irritating. That's the same thing with kind of, like, Fall Weather Friends and Look Before You Sleep, even though they're great episodes, it's just, like, it's kind of written immaturely. So it's like, damn, this episode is fucking, irritating. Not that it was written immaturely, but, like, the the characters are either like somebody's not getting their corruptions like fall with their friends. I don't think Rainbow Dash, she cheated, and the message was that we have to be equal. Rainbow Dash never got her like corruption, like her karma. Rainbow Dash never got her lesson taught. It's just, oh, we're all equal, even though Rainbow Dash was being more unfair towards Applejack in that episode, and already did like a 30-minute round that episode in my season 1 tier list. So if you want to go check that out, you know where they go. So, the thing with this episode, I feel like the writers were probably paying attention to the fans. Now, if you don't think the Brony fandom was very alive during the start of the series, you were wrong. The Brony fandom was very much there and very much had an impact on even the earliest episodes. They were there. Trust me, they were there and they were alive. They probably weren't noticed yet, but there were a lot of Bronies there. Imagine how cool it'd be to be like, yeah, I've been a Brony since season 1. I wish I had that fucking title. Shit, I got close. I technically became a Brony, which I didn't know what a Brony was yet, but I technically became a fan of the show late season 2 / early season 3, so I was close. I'm technically a Brony veteran, but yeah, so technically I get to have the badge, but my badge isn't as cool as I've been a Brony since season 1, which most people aren't. That's only like 1% of the fandom, which is a lot of people still, but yeah. So, like I was trying to say with this episode, it's irritating because, like, I feel like the writers were paying attention to the fans in the fact that you had these people probably complaining about Rainbow Dash. I wasn't saying this is what happened. I'm just saying this is what it feels like. So, basically, you have these people probably, like, complaining about Rainbow Dash for the reasons I just stated, and the writers are like, oh, shit, how do we have Rainbow Dash get her karma? It's not like this. You don't do it in an entire fucking episode. This episode is just, let's torture the fuck out of Rainbow Dash. That is the whole fucking episode. I am not joking. If you don't believe me, go watch it. But the whole episode is just, fuck you, Rainbow Dash. That's the whole fucking episode, dude. I ain't even joking either. That's literally the episode. So, in this episode, and if you don't think it's bad, I'm about to explain how bad this shit is. So, before we get into bad, let's get into good. This episode does have really funny moments. I feel like this episode has a really great potential to be amazing, but it just refuses to for some fucking reason, and I don't know why. But you could be. I think it's even aware. I think I don't know why. Intuition. Okay, my intuition just tells me whenever I'm watching this episode is just like, yeah, these fucking writers knew this shit was a bad idea. Like, not all of them, but they were trying to like play it off because that's all My Little Pony does. It's like, oh shit, play it off, because it's My Little Pony. You gotta keep it family friendly. Can't have Pinkie Pie suddenly look at the screen and be like, man, this episode fucking sucks! You can't have that. You have to, My Little Pony, you can't do that. You have to be a little cheesy. My Little Pony's cheesy. Keep it cheesy. Who is texting me? I don't care. I'm talking about My Little Pony. This is more important, okay? So, yeah, so this episode, like, I did love the peanut butter moment. I thought that was fucking hilarious. That's one of my favorite moments within the whole show. Rainbow Dash can't open the jar because she has hooves. Haha. Funny. Lol. Not an overdone joke in the fandom later, but it was funny. At the moment. I thought it was cute. I love the peanut. I just love the fact of. I don't know why it's funny. Thinking like horses eat peanut butter. It's so fucking random. What's that old show? Mr. Ed the Talking Horse? He would eat peanut butter, and I remember my family, it's a very old show, my family used to have on Mr. Ed the Talking Horse when I was younger. It was basically like a kid's show, but how they would make the horse talk, I think, this is at least what I was told, is that they would make the horse eat peanut butter, and he would talk. I also think horses like peanut butter, if I'm not wrong, so that's what I thought about when I first watched the episode. I was like, she was eating she's trying to get peanut butter like Mr. Ed, the Talking Horse. Lamau. Get it? Because it's a horse. Horse twice. Coincidences. Coincidental funny, ironic, yes, okay. So I do love moments in this episode. I also thought the Rainbow Dash fan club was kind of cute. I'm going to be, well, these ponies are fucking stupid. Background characters to any show are fucking stupid because they have to play along with like, the desired, plot of that particular episode. So, you know, especially Parent, the Powerpuff Girls, oh, we have to have everybody in town act fucking stupid so these little 5-year-olds can destroy this monster. You know, this is apparent in many episodes, and it actually does work well, even though it's an overdone trope that's probably beaten to death, dead horse with a stick. That's probably what it is, but I think it's funny. But here's just kind of annoying in my opinion. I don't think there would even be a Rainbow Dash fan club. Maybe when she became a Wonderbolt, but not back then, because, you know, this is early season Rainbow Dash, and she's just, like, really immature and arrogant and shit. Like, I can get the kids doing it, but the grown-ass mares, that's just creepy, dude. But I'm probably younger than them. Think about it. Don't think about it too deep, or else it'll be weird. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know, like, it might have been just children. I have to go back and rewatch it. Like, I got some little things about these episodes wrong, because I've been in the My Little Ponies, for so long. I think whenever I'm talking or interpreting these episodes into my head, my brain will go back to me watching the episode when I was, like, 9 or 10 or 7 or 8, and be like, oh, this happened. Like, I was actually going to say this at the very start of the video, and that's what I forgot, that in the Green Isn't Your Color episode, that, I said it was more Fluttershy Rarity focused, but it's actually not true. Actually, Rarity and Fluttershy really had an equal amount of attention. It was just Fluttershy was getting more attention from the ponies, but not writing wise. So, yeah, you know, small details like that, which, don't worry, guys, all of it will be fixed whenever I make that big video. Again, friendly reminder, just keep that in your head for me. Okay, I had to check something again real quick. But, yeah, anyways, explaining all of that background, the point I was trying to get at is that this episode is just infuriating because they went too overboard with trying to teach Rainbow Dash a lesson. And I think they might have done that just to do a friendship lesson. But what is so infuriating about this episode, and I'm really close to putting it in F, I'm just keeping it at the, just for right now. Like I said, a lot of these will change. Probably when I do all these episodes, this probably will be moved to an F. But that will be in my roundup recap, so we don't have to worry about that right now. So, yeah, they went too overboard. So basically, if you haven't watched the episode, what happens is that you have the introduction, you have the fangirl club, all that, Scootaloo's in charge of it, no shit. You know, all that was cute. But the main 6, besides Rainbow Dash, so the main 5, become, like, oddly salty about Rainbow Dash. Now, realistically, I think they wouldn't really care about Rainbow Dash getting this too much attention. I feel like if it was written in a more realistic My Little Pony standard way, and this episode wasn't about fuck you Rainbow Dash, this episode would be like, oh, Rainbow Dash is getting a lot of attention, whatever, haha, Rainbow Dash being Rainbow Dash. It's like punishing Pinkie Pie for being too hyper. Like, that's not something she can help. You know, and we can argue that's a little bit of Rainbow Dash's personality. She's a little bit of a narcissist, you could agree. Not like the toxic mom type of narcissist, but I mean, like, probably, like, more, yeah, not a narcissist. She's not more, I don't think she's a narcissist. She's just egocentrical, which plays into her quote-unquote stereotypical tomboy side. That is kind of outdated, problematic stereotype. A lot of these girls in these older shows and these cartoons who were tomboys were written as Ming. This doesn't damage any of Rainbow Dash's character. It's just the fact that this is what they did back then. Which is also why I think Lauren Faust added Applejack, another tomboy, which is just like, hey, you can be a tomboy and not be a dick, you know. But Rainbow Dash is a dick, especially in the older seasons. So, like, a good example of this is, like, Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls. She is a dick, but like she's also 5. So same thing with Rainbow Dash. I just think she needed to mature first. But like there's just a stereotype, especially within girls' cartoons, which you have a lot of girly quote unquote girly characters, and then you have the tomboy, and instead it cut off again, and instead of like the tomboys had to stand out, so let's make her mean, guys. I know you know this. I know it's not as apparent in cartoons anymore. I know it exists still. Trust me. I know. I seen it. But you being a tomboy / rebellious, especially female tomboy characters, does not equal you being rude. That doesn't happen. You can be a tomboy and be rude, of course, and be rebellious, but tomboy does not automatically equal being a prick. Alright, that's kind of like my least favorite cartoon trope in my opinion. Just like the tomboy being rude. What about Skater Jade? Skater Jade is fucking different, bitch. Skater Jade is different. First of all, Skater Jade is new to the world. She doesn't understand what the fuck is going on. Skater Jade has really big emotions. Now, you're ranting about Scass. What the fuck who the fuck is Skater Jade? Hold on. I will be quiet and continue with the episode. Give me 2 minutes, okay? 2 minutes, 2 minutes! If you guys don't know, you guys should check out Simon and Charlie Sparks. It's my cartoon. Self-advertisement. You can't do that! It's my channel! Ah! Alright, so I just want to self-advertise Scass real quick. Not self-advertise, but I want to talk about Skater Jade's character real quick and how she's different from Rainbow Dash. Skater Jade needs a constant need for stimulation, alright? So she's naive. She doesn't, when she's rude, she doesn't even know she's being rude. She's just like, okay, I didn't know I was being rude. I was just, Rainbow Dash is kind of similar, but I think Rainbow Dash is kind of more of a prick on purpose. Rainbow Dash don't give a fuck if she hurt your feelings. If Skater Jade hurts your feelings, she's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know, and just start skating. Not because she doesn't care, she just doesn't understand, because she's fucking new to the world. But Rainbow Dash was birthed through a vagina, or rainbow, I don't know. So, I expect a little bit more from Rainbow Dash, from Skater Jade. But, yeah, Rainbow Dash is, just more, less a dick in these, earlier episodes. So, that was just a little side tangent. I feel like I was doing so good with my side tangents, I wasn't going into a lot of them until this one is ruined. Now the Mysterious Mare Do episode will probably be 30 fucking minutes within this fucking long-ass rant. I don't really care right now at the moment, though. Okay, so, it's okay. So, I don't know what happened there. I really don't. It's alright, guys. Is your voice becoming raspy? Are you like JoJo CY? Did you just scream too much? Karma's a bitch! I should've known better! Okay, I'll stop getting distracted. So, the thing, they went too overboard with this episode, okay? They went too fucking overboard. So, yeah, what was I talking about? Okay, I was talking about how the main 5 were, like, getting salty about Rainbow Dash getting too much attention instead of pushing it to the side. So they finally do what me personally want to do, give Rainbow Dash a taste of her own medicine. And that's what happens, but they overdo it. So I would be okay with the episode if it was like part of the episode. Maybe Rainbow Dash gets into some shit, I don't know. But they didn't do that. The whole entire episode is the main 5 dressing up as the Mysterious Mare Do to basically, long story short, give Rainbow Dash a taste of her own medicine. So let's say, example, Applejack is Mysterious Mare Do. Applejack can buck trees. Rainbow Dash can't do that. She's probably a skimpy bitch. So Applejack, Applejack bucks a tree as the Mysterious Mare Do. Rainbow Dash is like, I can't buck a tree. That's not fair. So you know that shit. So. And then, like, another example, yeah, you probably can get the point. Rarity is Mysterious Mare Do. Rainbow Dash goes to the Diamond Cave or whatever the fuck. This doesn't happen. I'm just saying this as an example. Well, I can't mine diamonds. I don't have a horn. I don't know shit about diamonds. Yeah, but Rarity does it. And, you know, the Mysterious Mare Do, she gets a fan club too. And Rainbow Dash is like, is this a Pegasus? Is this a unicorn? Is it an Earth Pony? Is it an alicorn? I cannot tell. Who is this mysterious person that just so happened to pop up as soon as I started getting attention? Which, shame on the main six. It's kind of like my least favorite episode in season 1 so far, which is confirmed to be the Alicious episode. It's just the other girls being really mean to Spike for no fucking reason. And I get it. Spike is annoying. Spike is often the butt of a joke. I understand that. But that doesn't mean we dislike Spike. That episode has just like a weird Spike hate to it that just, it feels like it was written by a sadist and it just gives off vibes. Like, it gives off iffy vibes. But maybe it's just a children's show. I'm probably just taking it too seriously. But the same thing happens here, basically. You have this weird hate for Rainbow Dash. We do want to see Rainbow Dash get a taste of her own medicine, but we don't want to see her slowly be mentally tortured for 25 or 23 minutes, okay? We don't want to see that. And it's just so salty, too. It feels like jealousy. This episode would be so much better and so relieving if at the end of the episode, the main six were probably like, oh, we're so sorry, Rainbow Dash. We wanted to teach you a lesson, but we went way too overboard. We deeply apologize. We won't do it again. That would probably make this episode like a B tier, or at least a B tier, not an A tier. This episode would probably be up here if it would have done that. It would have saved it a little bit. But no, instead it treats it like it's Rainbow Dash's fault. Like, I'm sorry. Rainbow Dash, like, she might be aware that she's in the wrong or being too egocentric, but she's not fully aware of it. Like, she's still growing and developing. That is Mother's Nature's job, or karma, to give Rainbow Dash a piece of her lesson, not your guys' job. Imagine if you had some sort of disorder, and your best friends in the whole world, you had some sort of disorder, or like you made an achievement and you got a lot of attention because of it, and your friends suddenly started masking themselves as a better version of you, and they got more attention than you. And I know it's a show about ponies, but if you think about it deeply, that is extremely fucked up. That is probably more fucked up than none of those girls caring whenever Spike basically ran away from home. Like, that, if you think about it, like, it might be a show for ponies, it might be played off as comedic, but imagine if something like that happened in real life, or to you, or somebody you know. That is so fucked up. I would never talk to my friends again if they did that. That is just awful. But that's basically what they do to Rainbow Dash. And on top of it, at the end, Rainbow Dash has to own up to it. Rainbow Dash didn't do shit. What? Like, yeah, she's annoying and make these mistakes, but it's also a part of her character. Like, why are you punishing Rainbow Dash for being Rainbow Dash? You know, it's just really weird. I basically just, I got sidetracked a lot, but I basically just shat on this episode a lot. The reason why I'm not putting it at an F right now is because we haven't done these episodes yet, okay? We're still early on into this list. So we have a lot more to cover, okay? So I'm leaving it at this, but let's see what these other episodes have to hold first, and maybe it will be an F. The only reason, and also another reason why I'm not putting it at an F is that, I hate to say this, but like the season 1 episodes tend to be kind of boring. This episode is kind of constant, you know, there's not really any filler in this episode. It's not boring, it's constant. The issue with the season 1 bad episodes is that a lot of them were boring as well, like especially Dog and Pony Show. If I could argue, You could get an irritating episode like this, and as long as it's funny and consistent and has some good moments in it, like this episode does, it's better than an outright boring episode. Like, just like the most boring, forgettable episode. It makes it better. I know that's kind of hard to believe, but how are you supposed to rate an episode that's so boring and forgettable and you can't even remember anything about it? But then you get a boring and irritating episode, and that's when you can put it down on the list, alright? So this episode has some recovering moments, but it's close, don't get me wrong. But we'll just keep it like that for now. Now we need a breather for a minute. We are on to the very last episode of this segment. I'm gonna have to kind of hurry it up too. It's about 1, so, and soon people are gonna be here, maybe around 1. So I started recording. Thank God I recorded this at the perfect time. But I'm probably gonna have to stop around 1, which is great because I don't have to say a lot about this episode. This is a great episode, which is kind of hard to believe. Because if you look at this episode, and if you just watch it, it's kind of a nothing episode. It's kind of the same arguments I made if you watch my first videos. It's kind of the same argument I have for, the Parasite episode and Feeling Pinky King. Oh, checking something again? OCD. A lot of those episodes are quote-unquote filler episodes, but they're also enjoyable. This is an enjoyable Rarity episode, and it's really down to earth. I feel like a lot of Rarity episodes are either focused on her being too uptight or her being generous, but this episode is just like a typical Rarity episode. I love watching these characters do their everyday things. Like this episode, it doesn't really have a message in it. For the most part, this episode is just Rarity and Canterlot, like visiting Canterlot, and it's a more world building / explorer episode. You get to see Canterlot and how the ponies are there, and not everybody is so uptight, and Rarity gets to be in this hotel, and Celestia is there, and it's not a lot going on. It's just something very simple that maybe a lot of people wouldn't care about. It's just Rarity going to Canterlot. I don't really see a lot of people liking this episode besides fans or / people who pay more attention, but I love filler episodes if they're done correctly. Usually a lot of people will complain about filler episodes, like, oh, these characters aren't developing. Guys, you don't have to have your characters developing every single episode. It makes your characters more enjoyable, more authentic, more relatable when you can relate these characters to yourself and see these characters do their daily, basic, down-to-earth, quote-unquote, boring, everyday lives. That's what makes a good cartoon. Most My Little Pony episodes are in fact trying to learn something or develop the characters. Guys, humans don't work that way. We don't grow or learn a lesson every day. There will be days, humans have nothing days, and these cartoons will have quote-unquote nothing episodes. So it's just so great to see these characters just do their daily living things like this. I love stuff like this. Maybe if you're not as big as a fan of the show, let's say I love I don't know. I used to love Steven Universe. I don't know as much anymore, but I used to be not a big fan. Well, I used to be a big fan of Steven Universe. But Steven Universe had a lot of like filler episodes, and they were more boring to me. But My Little Pony will have a filler episode, and I kind of enjoy it more. It's just clear how much of a fan of the show you are. These episodes also exist, so you can skip them. If you don't want to see this, you don't like these nothing episodes, that's great. You can just skip it and go to the next episode and go back to it when you become a bigger fan and you get kind of curious, hey, how do these characters work and operate in their daily lives? And this is just really great. This made these episodes, especially this one, made the show feel so much more authentic. instead of Canterlot being seen as big and royal, you have Rarity actually go there, and it's just like a city. It's like a town, like anything else on this earth. You know, you have a little bit more going on. It's just cool to see. It just makes the show feel so much more realistic and authentic, and I love that. I just love seeing, like, just Rarity doing something as basic as traveling to Canterlot and going to a hotel, and Celestia was there too. Celestia and Luna, they're also just normal ponies. They just so happen to be princesses that have big duties, but even you had, like, Celestia just talking to Rarity like she was just a regular, just as any other pony, and I love that. It's just written so fucking well. And there's not much to say about this episode because again, it's just a quote-unquote filler nothing episode, but it's not the best episode for just what I just said, but it's also a good episode. I just love seeing stuff like that. I love the song in it too. It's one of the most forgettable songs in the whole series. No one really cares about it. You don't see a lot of people bring it up. But I love it. I just love it. And also these episodes, these nothing episodes, especially this one right here, just gives like a mental state of like the writers kind of like, you're kind of like, oh, these nothing episodes, they're kind of more nostalgic too, because like you get to be present in the moment. It's like these other episodes are trying to prove a point, but these I just love stuff like that. I love nothing episodes. I think I went a little bit too mentally deep on that, but I think you guys get my point. But I love talking about cartoons. This is what I do for a living. This is what makes me happy. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at there for right now. This is what I have. We don't have to change them. They'll be changed later on. But yeah, you guys, I did think we would have had a lot more good, but we didn't. Season 1, I feel like when we started getting more into it, we had like a lot of like season Bs. But like, yeah, it'll probably be changed later on, especially this episode. I feel like this is gonna be switched down to an A pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there. So yeah, you guys, I'm going to end the stream here. By the way, I don't know what the fuck is like going to happen with my screen recorder. So, if I don't make another video like this until like a week, just know, I can only make these videos. If it's on OBS, I can only make OBS videos at a particular time. Screen recorder, I can make them anytime. So, if I don't get my screen recorder working, which I might won't, like, just don't be surprised if if another recording of this don't come out until, like, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, or even, God forbid, maybe even a month. But we will get done what we have to get done, even if it takes a while, because it's worth it. Anything for the project, you guys, and I am getting tired and hungry and sweaty. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that to you guys real quick. Also, I was trying to stay consistent. Like, I didn't want to make a video in between like the tier rankings, just because it's more aesthetically pleasing and less mentally exhausting. But I might like take a break and make another video in between these, cause like why not? They're all gonna be in a playlist anyway, but we'll just see. But yeah, I just wanted to explain to you guys real quick if it takes me a while to make another one, I'm having technical difficulties. Also, the reason why it took me a while between season 1 and season 2 is just because like you need a mental break and you need time to process things. I had some personal stuff going on too, but just for the most part, you need breaks. Can't. Or I'm gonna be burnt out. Especially over Old My Little Pony season 1. If you want to get me fucking burnt out, there you go. Put all my energy on that for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I can't wait to talk about these other episodes, as well. But yeah, let's not get out the fucking park. But thank you guys for watching. I think I'm gonna end it here. Alright, see you guys. Bye.